What's up, guys? You got the Video Game Voter here with a brand new episode. So, if you guys seen the last episode from the other day, today I want to put the spotlight on something that is near and dear to my heart. We're talking about none other than the Game Boy. So, I'm going to give you 5 games that I feel like is essential to any Nintendo collector for their Game Boy library. But not only do I think that they're essential, I also believe that with the Game Boy's lack of power and what they were able to produce with these games, they are incredibly impressive. So let's jump right into that list. And guys, before we get into the list, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell on, hit that notification button so you don't miss a single episode as we upload every single Friday at 9 a.m. First on the list, we have Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. Title of the game is a little bit confusing, but I guess they decided to just piggyback on the Super Mario Land series, and they decided to give Wario his first take and give him his first lane as far as having his own video game. So Wario Land Super Mario Land 3 is a 1994 platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy. It is part of the Wario Land series and sequel to 92 Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. The story follows Wario traveling to a distant island to steal and sell valuable statue to purchase his own castle out of envy for Mario. The player traverses themed zones consisting of levels, each of which scattered with collectible coins which can be used to purchase items that aid in the player progressing through the stages. After being ejected from Mario's castle in the previous game, Wario resolves to get his own castle, one even bigger and more impressive than Mario's. To fund his extravagant dream, he travels to the Kitchen Island where the brown sugar pirates have hidden many treasures and coins, including the golden statue of Princess Peach stolen from the Mushroom Kingdom. Wario intends to retrieve this statue and sell it back to Mario for the price of a castle. After exploring the island, stealing the pirates' treasures, and infiltrating their syrup castle, Wario confronts the leader of the pirates, a female buccaneer named Captain Syrup. She summons a genie to destroy Wario, but he defeats the genie and Syrup destroys the castle with a large bomb as she escapes. In doing so, the pirates' biggest treasure is revealed, the giant gold statue of Princess Peach. However, Mario appears in a helicopter, thanks Wario, and takes the statue away in front of his eyes. Still holding the genie's lamp, Wario summons the genie and wishes for a castle. The genie tells him that he requires money to grant his wish, and so Wario gives him all the coins the player has collected over the course of the game, plus trays and all the found treasures for more coins. Exactly how well the genie grants Wario's wish depends on the final amount of coins he is given. Wario can get from the best to worst outcome a castle, a Chinese pagoda, a log cabin, a treehouse, or a tiny birdhouse. The player collects all the treasures and has enough coins to reach 99,999 limit. The genie will give Wario an entire planet with his face etched on its surface. Up next we have Kid Dracula. Kid Dracula is a comical, gothic themed platform video game and a spin-off to Castlevania. It is a remake and sequel to the 1990 Famicom game, Boku Dracula, literally Demon Castle Special Kid Dracula, made by Konami for the Game Boy in '93. The game is a sequel to the events of the original Kid Dracula. Galamouth, called Garamouth in the game, has returned and is up to Kid Dracula to stop him once again. However, he seems to have forgotten most of his spells. Also, many of his minions have turned against him and joined Galamouth. Death remains by his side, however, and gives him tips and heirlooms from his father, Dracula, along the way. Up next, we have Donkey Kong Land 2. Donkey Kong Land 2 is a platform game developed by Rare, published for Nintendo for the Game Boy. It is the sequel to the '95 Game Boy game Donkey Kong Land and is part of the Donkey Kong video game series. It was released worldwide in the autumn of '96. It was enhanced for the Super Game Boy with different shades of color, as well as a 16-bit banana border on the edges of the television screen. Like the original Donkey Kong Land, it came packaged in a banana yellow cartridge. The game was followed by Donkey Kong Land 3, which was released in '97. Donkey Kong Land stars Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong in their quest to rescue Donkey Kong from Captain K. Rool and Kremlin crew. While the stage names and world themes are borrowed from Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong Quest, except for the Castle Crush, which became Dungeon Danger, and Haunted Hall, which became Crazy Coaster, the level designs are different. Donkey Kong Land 2 has the same storyline from Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong's Quest. The manual contains a simplified version of the story from its SNES counterpart. K. Rool has kidnapped Donkey Kong and is at Crocodile Island, and it's up to Diddy and Dixie to save him. Up next, we have Kirby Dream Land. Kirby Dream Land is a 92 platform video game developed by HAL Laboratory and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy. It is the first game in the Kirby series and marks the debut of Kirby. It's introduced many conventions that would appear in later games in the series. The game follows Kirby as he goes through 5 levels to retrieve the sparkling stars and food of Dreamland from King Dedede. Kirby's Dreamland is set in the fictional country of Dreamland, which is located on a tiny star-shaped planet far, far away from Earth named Planet Popstar in later games. The Dreamlanders are very peaceful and carefree people that use their magical sparkling stars to play and work among the heavens. One night, under the cover of darkness, the gluttonous King Dedede and his minions swoop down from his castle on Mount Dedede and steal all the food in Dreamland, as well as the sparkling star, which King distributes among his minions. Without the sparkling stars, the Dreamlanders can no longer harvest food and begin to grow hungry. As the residents are discussing what to do, a spry little boy named Kirby flies in on the spring breeze and volunteers to defeat King Dedede and retrieve the food and stars. Upon successfully doing so, he uses the magic of the sparkling stars to transform into a hot air balloon and return King's stolen food back to the people of Dreamland. And you know I couldn't leave the list without having my boy, the GOAT, Super Mario on there. We're talking about none other than Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land is a 1989 platform game developed and published by Nintendo as a launch game for its Game Boy handheld game console. It is the first Mario platform game to have been released for a handheld console, not including the earlier Game & Watch, and gameplay similar to that of the 1985 Super Mario Bros., but resized for the smaller device's screen. The player advances Mario to the end of 12 levels by moving to the right, jumping across platforms to avoid enemies and pitfalls. Unlike the other Mario games, Super Mario Land is set in Saracen Land, a new environment depicted in line art, and Mario pursues debuting Princess Daisy. The game has 2 Gradius-style shooter levels. The screen only scrolls to the right as the player advances, but will not scroll back to the left, and sections of the level that have passed off-screen cannot be revisited. Mario travels to Saracen Land to save Princess Daisy from Tatonga, the evil spaceman. 2 of the game's 12 levels are force-scrolling Gradius-style shooters where Mario helms a submarine or airplane and fires projectiles towards oncoming enemies, destructible blocks, and bosses. Levels end with a platform challenge to reach an alternative exit located above the regular exit, the former leading to a bonus minigame styled after a ghost leg lottery that awards 1 to 3 extra lives or Super Ball flower power. Mario pursues Princess Daisy in her debut rather than the series standard damsel in distress Princess Peach. When jumped on, Koopa shells explode after a small delay. Mario throws bouncy balls rather than fireballs, referred to as super balls in the manual. 1-up mushroom power-ups are depicted as hearts, and the level end flagpoles are replaced with platforming challenge. Compared to Super Mario Bros., which contains 32 levels subdivided into 8 worlds, 4 levels each, Super Mario Land is smaller with 12 levels subdivided into 4 worlds with 3 levels each. There are 5 unique bosses, one at the end of each of the 4 worlds, and the 5th and final boss being Tatonga, who appears with the 4th boss is defeated. The first 3 bosses may be destroyed with projectiles, or the player may move past them to exit without destroying them first. The last level has no regular exit, and the 2 bosses at the end of that level must be destroyed with projectiles to complete the level and the game. Some elements recur from the previous Mario games, such as blocks suspended in midair, moving platforms that must be used to traverse pitfalls, pipes that lead to other areas, collectible coins that grant an extra life when 100 are collected, and Goomba enemies. After the player has completed the game, they may play through again on a harder mode in which levels are the same apart from the enemies being more numerous. Player completes the harder mode, the game allows the player to start another play on any level in the game. Now, I just want to mention this is one of my favorite games, one of the first titles that I had for the Game Boy. I've been recently putting in a lot of time with this game, but trying to actually beat it because I didn't beat it as a kid, but this is clearly one of my favorite games, and I already have this in the collection, so I'm super excited about that. Just wanted to share that with you guys, and just the amount of quality of work that they put in for this title on the Game Boy was just simply amazing to me. All right, guys, so those were 5 essential Game Boy titles that I feel like any Nintendo Game Boy collector needs in their library. So I want to know down in the comment section below, are these games that you have in your collection, and how do you feel about these games after seeing this video? Is it something that you're looking to add to your collection? If you missed last week's episode, make sure you click that link above. If you want to catch up on the full season of the Video Game Votary, click that link down below. Thank you for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at Video Game Votary.